Alrighty, welcome back to Grumpy Old Man Crochets, and this is a continuation of the project with the shorts. So let's go over real quick what we have, because I think this video is going to be, by the time I splice everything together, the completion of the shorts. These squares are all 2 by 2. As you can see, there's several different types of squares, several different colors. Like this one, this is 4 different colors. I was going to do more of these, but let's be honest, trying to get rid of the ends, because that was 8 different ends, so trying to weave those in, crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I only did one. This one, by the way, just as beautiful. Just as beautiful. And guess what? Only 2 ends. So anyways, I have a bunch. Now these have already been blocked, so I don't need to block these. But I do want to show you a couple of different things we did different, because these are just your standard granny square, regardless of what the color combination, it's your standard granny square. But I did try a few extra things. So let's zoom in a bit and let's take a look at this one. More of a cone flower. Let me center it a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like that's my extent of zooming, so I'll lift it up. So that's more of a cone flower. It doesn't have a solid edge on it, but that's cool, whatever. By the time we sew this in with everything else, it'll have that. I also did this one. This one has the little popcorns on it, and then the 2 different colors. Oop, I have a hard time keeping centered there. So that was fun. I just wanted to try some things that are different from the standard granny squares that I was doing. Now this one actually turned out really nice. It is unfortunately the wrong size. So this is 2 inches this direction. Let me pull back a little bit. 2 inches this direction, but it's 2.5 inches this direction. Now that'll actually work, and I considered doing 2 of these, because by the time I do the squares all the way around the pants are 12 inches flat. So that's 24 inches per leg, which means I need 12, and then there's going to be a little bit missing, and this could have covered up that extra little bit missing, but I got another plan I'm going to do with that. So that's just an extra one right there. These, I need to pull these back over here. Sorry, there we go. These I still need to block. They're not blocked yet. And these, as you can see, I still need to hide the strings here and go ahead and tuck these things in. So I'll get to that. I'll get to that today. And then I'm going to have all of these. Now, this is what I plan on doing. Let me move these out of the way. I am going to take these and I am going to sort them, and anyhow that I like to sort. Let me zoom out a little bit. What are we doing? There we go. We're doing it that direction. I'm just going to line these up like that, and I am going to connect them here, all 24, and once I'm done, I am going to do 3 rows underneath. So the first row is going to be this lighter color. The second row is going to be this little bit darker color. The third row is going to be this. So it'll be an ombre from light to dark, 3 rows underneath here. So this is going to extend to about there. So it'll be about 2 1/4 to a 2.5 inch border that I'm going to put around the pant leg. Now, speaking of the pant leg, Let's take a look at this. With the pant leg, I considered cutting off right here at the hem. Let me zoom in a little bit there. I considered cutting at the hem and then putting these from the hem down. Problem is, then that's going to fray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this hem here. Once this is all connected, once I've got my 3 rows on it, I am going to sew them at the hem. And once I sew them at the hem all the way around, if, let me get this here, there we go. If there ends up being a little bit of room at the end, let's say these wrap all the way around and I've got that much listed, I am going to take the 3 colors that I have, which is this color, that color. I'm going to take these 3 colors and I'm going to, there we go, where are we going? Let's zoom back out a little bit. Good Lord. I'm going to weave those 3 strings together, and then I am going to make a chain, and I will sew it in at the top. Well, it will be right here. Well, you can't see that, but I'll sew it in at the top here, and then I will crisscross it kind of like shoelaces down to the bottom, and then I'll tie the bottom into a bow, and I'll do the same on both sides, so it'll look symmetrical. Be a little bit of symmetry there. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working on. This should be. We should be. Let's zoom back out a little. Whoa, that's too far. Now you can see the legs of my contraption I built here to shoot straight down. We don't need that. But yeah, that's what we're going to do, and we should be getting that done. This video should go out probably Friday. I don't know, one of those days. And I'm sorry?
So you like North Cologne?
Sure.
You mind if I show you something today? I got a couple of fragrances.
There is absolutely on both doors where you come in, no soliciting signs.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one today, man.
Hello? Okay, I think I'm ready. Let's see what we got here. All right, so some of these are already sewn together. And this is the way I'm going. So this is going to start at the edge, go around the front, around the back, up. These are not exactly perfect. These turned out good. This is a little bit off. A little bit off. This is what it is. We will try to less a little bit off it. I'll put the scissors there because I know that's my limit there. And this is my limit here, so everything we work with is in here. So let's go with, we got one of those, so we're not going to do that one again. We could put one of these in. Put one of these in. So let us pull out some string. And the needle. Now I can't see well enough to put the hole, the string in the needle, so use a threader. Easy peasy, bright and easy. Alrighty. So basically we're going to take this, I'm going to take this, let's do our best to get it even here. And let's do these loops here, that loop, that loop. Let's try it again. There we go. Now I'm hoping, oh my God, are you effing kidding me? Twice? Shit. Go to the next loop. Put it through. Put it through. same loop again. Now the reason why I'm going through the same loop again is on the other ones, like this one, you can see where it twisted, and I think it's just because I angled it up, and then when I put it on, the stitches went straight, which pulled the two pieces of fabric down. So I'm going to try to not let that happen. And then I'm going to do that to it, so that's just going to F it up some more. We'll figure a way to fix that. Hopefully I'm not stitching this too tight, because that's what I'm afraid I'm doing right now. That's a no. Same again. How bad is this? Well, that looks stupid as fuck. The good news is, this will eventually work its way out. So I'm not going to sweat it too much. Try this also because think this is enough string. I can do Oof. Dark stitches are harder to see. Messing this up somehow. Alright, that actually turned out pretty good. This one is weird, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that a little bit, because I think that once I put them on the pants, I'll be able to sew them down. Yeah, that is what we're looking for. Then we'll put 2 rows of double crochets, 3 rows of double crochets down here. That'll go all the way around as well. So we'll get to that when we're ready to get to it. Okay, let's give this a try. What I am doing here, so I finally figured it out. I'm going to sew this shit to get this stuff together. Now, I may end up having to use, so I've got a needle, just a normal needle here. And what I've done with this normal needle, it's not really a normal needle. It is, but it isn't. Oh yeah, there we go. I've doubled up the, I'm gonna call it number 50 yarn, but it's not really number 50 yarn, it's thread. So, there we go, I've doubled it up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these pieces, I'm gonna start up here where that chain 1 is. I'm going to take the next one where the chain 1 is, We're going to pull it through. We're going to try to keep this centered. Oop. I'm going to hit the camera with my forehead. Keep it centered. We're going to tie it off. And then we're going to tie it down. So this. Where are we at there? There we go. Tie it. Do it one more time. I'm gonna tie it. Alright, so there we go. Now, that's what it's gonna look like. Slap it shut there. Alrighty. So I'm going to keep this in front here of the camera, but I am. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. I guess that's some light reflecting. What does that piece mean? What I'm going to do. I'm going to do this all the way down. I could do this without the camera. Sorry, without the, there we go. Let's turn on some light. Let's do it with some light on. So I'm gonna put it in there, but...
Do you have a really small bag?
Sure.
I'm so sorry.
Whatever. Nobody for hours. Turn on the camera. There's people. There we go. One or two?
Just one.
Yep. It's amazing. I haven't had any customers come up to the window for 2 hours. What am I? 4 minutes and 20 seconds into this. See, now I'm fucking annoyed. Now I'm fucking making mistakes and shit. Jesus Christ. Fuck it, it's just gonna be like that. I don't give a shit. I guess the big secret of this is not to pull it too tight
or it won't actually. It won't actually roll down properly. It won't, I have no idea what the hell I just said right there. But it won't open up properly. And when it doesn't open properly, it won't, it'll be all crunchy and just won't look good. So, what the fuck? Seriously, Jesus Christ! God damn it! Motherfucker. All right, and then through the chain one space again. I'm just using my fingers to hold it open because I am going to tie a knot in this. Open it up, see what it looks like. Okay. So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit, but I want to say that looks pretty good on there. I'm not mad about that. I will cut the tail a little bit long. That long. It's not really long, but it's a little bit longer. Now chances are what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double check these knots and then I'm just going to snip it because that's what it needs to be snipped. So I'm going to do this to all of these squares. I got 12 squares. So I'm going to do it to all of the squares, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this onto the pair of pants. Now, spoiler alert, I've already got one leg done. I'm going to do the second leg hopefully in a little bit. We'll see how long it takes me to do all this. It is now 10 minutes to 8. I've been procrastinating all night. By procrastinating, I mean running down my battery, looking at Facebook. But anywho, let's move on. Okay, so it looks like I have gotten this last swatch done. So let's zoom in a little bit, take a look at it. What I've done is I've added the granny square stitch in both the super light purple, the medium purple, and the dark purple. I've gone around the edges, get those strings out of the way, gone around the edges,
going around the edges, just like the other pair. And once I get these tucked in, this will be ready to go, and it'll be ready to go on the pant. Now, let me pull out the pants. I've got one set already on the pants, and I have these ties here, and I think I'm going to redo them so I don't have this big, make sure this is in the screen here, so I don't have this big dark area, and I just have the X's. Now, I took 3 pieces of this silver and just put it through, and the idea is once it's done, I'm going to make a small bow, um, have a small bow on the bottom, kind of like that. You know, it'll be a nicer bow, but basically a bow like that, and then cut off the string so it doesn't hang down too far. But what I had wanted to do originally was take the string here and take all 3 colors of the string and weave them together and have the 3 different colors. Unfortunately, I already tried that and it didn't work. It ended up in knots. So, and I said weave, I meant braid them, and it just didn't really work. So that's that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this. We're going to tuck these ends, of course. But then we're going to take this. We're going to line it up there. We're going to run it around. Run it around, run it around, run it around. Here we are. And back around onto here. So this will look like that. Yeah, like that. So here are some pins. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and tuck these ends, both sides. I'm going to tuck these ends, and then I'll be right back. Okay, looks like we have this second piece done. As you can see, I've taken the granny square stitch, and let me find a better area where you can see it a little bit better. So here I've done the light purple / silvery, the medium purple, and then the dark purple, and I've just done 3 rows. Now the 3 rows go on both ends. There we go, both ends. And yeah, that's what it looks like before it goes on the pant. Once it goes on the pant, this is what it's going to look like. This has already been sewn on there. Now, I am not a sewer, so if you notice any mistakes or any unstraight lines, we are not going to mention those. Okay? So let's just move on. Nobody likes somebody that's critical. Well, let me correct that. I like being critical, but I don't like it when other people are critical when I do something. So we'll keep that to yourselves. Anywho, let's move on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck these in. I'm going to go ahead and weave all of these ends in. I got what, 4 or 5 ends to do here. And once I do that, I'm going to line it up on this inside seam right here. I'm going to put it all the way around on the seam. All the way around, all the way around, all the way around, all the way back over to there. So it'll be like that. And the 2 sides will be the same. And we'll do this. We'll be ready to go. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to tuck these in, and then I'm going to pin it to the short. And once I get that done, I'll be right back. Okay, looks like those ends are done. So let's pull out some of these pins, and let's pin this bad boy down.
see if I can do this while it's still in frame. Let me look. Yeah, we're in frame there. We can move out a little bit. So I want it even with that and even with the stitching right up there. That's really where I want it. So the real testament is going to see how many times I can stab myself. Okay. So there is one. We're going to skip down a little bit. Let me move this up. That way I know I'm frame. Let's try the next one. I want these pins to be out a little bit. I got big knobs on the end of them there, and you'll see why in a little bit. I just need those to be a little farther away. Yeah. Now this first pant leg took me a minute. I won't lie about that, but hopefully this one will be a little bit better because it's the second one I've done. And if you've watched my other videos, you know as I was learning your basic stitches. How do you like this one? This is a little bit let's move this up so we can see it a little bit better. That's got little popcorn stitches on it. I like that one. Okay. Make sure we're still there. So now that's on there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pin this up here too because it looked like, oops. That's the problem with hand stitching is I tend to get the two front and the back of that pant leg together for some reason. Okay, so we're going a little bit slow on this because I'm trying to get this a little bit smoother, a little bit more straight liney. Because that other one in the back of it wasn't quite as straight liney as what I would have liked it to be. So we're going to work on it on this one here. Ouch. By the way, I'm using my new microphone. I'm not talking overly loud. So I'm filming this at home. Oops, it's way too far in there. Let's pull that out. There we go. And some of this will just make sure it's on the line as we go. So it's not as much background noise, so it's easier to do this here. Oh, come on. There we go. Without having to talk really loud. That's good. Whoops. I'm sure I will fast forward this. Oops. as we're going. Hmm. Okay, there we go. It is all pinned. And now I'll be right back. Okay. Now I'm not sure that I remember if I had mentioned before how cheap I am, but I was at a thrift store and I saw this beautiful Singer sewing machine. Cost me $20. All right. Maybe it was built in 1972, May to be specifically. There's a stamp on the other side. But anywho, it's what sewed this piece on. So I have it set at a medium stitch width, a 3, a center stitch, and um, not too close together. It's a zigzag, not too close together, not too far apart. And I have this set just loose enough that I can go forwards and backwards without having to adjust the lock there. So we're good with that. So we'll just turn it on. Boom, the light comes on. Now, let's see if we can do this. I ran a few practice zigzags when I first got the machine. Okay, where are we at? That's the back. Let's flip it this way. This is the front. Turn that this way. We're going to pull this. This should be pulled up to there. Here's my string sticking out. The foot is up. The needle is up. One of the issues is we're starting right on the thickest part. So it's going to be a little rough getting this needle where I want it to start. But I think that's where I want it. Lord knows if this is going to work, but let's give it a shot. We're going to go slow only because I want to see what we can do here. Whoop, 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 whoop. It helps if you put the foot down. All right, let's go backwards a little bit. All right, let's go forward a little bit. Now I understand I didn't really need to go back and forward to lock the stitch in because once we go around, it's going to cover up I'm going to overlap anyways. But let's see what we got going on here. Oh, okay. There's my string. So I guess we effed that all to hell. Let's try this shit again. Alrighty. You go there. Let's go ahead and pull that string out of there. We'll start all over again. And since I cannot see, we're going to pull this bad boy out. And I think we can. Oop, we can't jam that through there. All right, we can't jam that through there, so let me do it this way. That is never going to work like that. Let's get a fresh cut. There we go. All righty, there we go. All right. There that is. Let's try it a second time. Let's try this. We're going to drop the foot. Let's give it a shot. Oh. Okay, there we go. We got that rethreaded. I don't know why the thread broke that time, other than maybe it hit the pin. The pin. So I took that pin out, and let's try this again. Let's get her back underneath there. We're going to start backwards a little bit so we can go over top a lot of those threads that we just did. So, let's get this out of there. There we go. All right. Let's take 753. Okay, now we're getting ready to go over another seam, and it's where the thread broke the first time. I'm going to pull the pin out just so we can see about putting it through there. See if we can do it straight. Okay, so let's give this a shot. Where's my pedal at? Well, we made it through it. Boom shakalaka. Well, maybe we did make it through it. Jesus Christ. Did I sew that together?
Son of a bitch. Oh. All right, let's keep going. We'll figure that out in a minute. Or should I? Let's pull it out. Yeah. Oh, why did I do that? I'm not surprised. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say I was surprised I did it. Okay. The good news is we caught it right away. We pulled the stitches. So basically only a little bit of a harm and a little bit of a foul. So let's try this again. Make sure those are pushed over. Let's get you back in here. Make sure there's nothing under it. Get you laying on here properly. I'm going to back it up a little bit. A little bit. No, we're not going to go reverse. We're there. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, it'd really help if I remember to put that damn foot down. Okay. We are almost there. We are almost there. And so far I've only sewn the wrong things together once. Let's see what we're doing here. Okay. Now, here we are going to have to go over the ridge again. Because remember, we skipped that on the way to start. We certainly need to do that on the finish. Something, it's not laying right here. Something's not going. And it broke again. God damn it. Okay, so here we are. They are finally done. I think I have all of the, oh, that's a mess, but we won't look at that. Anywho, these are what they look like. There were a couple of changes to it. I took out the ribbon, sewed it shut. The ribbon wasn't working out the way I wanted it to. But yeah, these are what they look like. The I think it looks kind of cute. The wife thinks they look kind of cute also, so it's really all that matters. But here they are. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Like, follow, do all that stuff that you're supposed to do. And if you would like a pair like this, put a comment in the comment section, and I'll tell you, not a chance in hell am I making a pair for you. But anywho, put a comment anyways. I don't care. But yeah, this is a project that is complete. And yeah, let's go on. Lisa's already tried them on, so I know she likes them. But yeah, anywho, like, follow, leave a comment, so on and so forth.